Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Viewpoint. I'm Anusha Soni. All hell broke loose when Tamil Nadu Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin made a derogatory statement when it comes to Hindu religion and Sanatan Dharma. He compared the religion to diseases like dengue and malaria. It did not stop there. He also argued that the religion intrinsically is deeply patriarchal and also perpetuates casteism. Well, when there was fierce criticism that had come from the likes of the BJP, the minister has refused to backtrack and has said that he has not called for any kind of genocide, as has been accused by the BJP. Now, the biggest trouble is for the alliance partners, NDA, a group of about 28 political parties who want to come together and challenge the BJP government. You have the Congress party, which finds itself in a fix. There are the likes of Uddhav Thackeray and their party who have taken exception to the statement made by Udhayanidhi Stalin. But this particular statement by the minister concerned in the state of Tamil Nadu might be good optics for the politics in the state of the state, but in the long run, it's going to damage the prospects of this particular alliance which has been formed to overtake the big machinery of the BJP. The ramifications of the statement, and was this some kind of hate speech as accused by the BJP?
I spoke only about the Sanatan, the practices that they are following. I will definitely stand against it, and I will face any illegal activities, action, and I will never step back from whatever I said.
भारतीय के तौर पे आपको कह सकता हूँ कि सनातन परंपरा भारत की संस्कृति का हिस्सा है और वो युग युगांतर तक रहेगा.
As this stand is by the DMK party. DMK as a party, every party has the right to have their stand.
वो उनकी व्यक्तिगत राय होगी, हम उससे सहमत नहीं.
हमको सभी धर्म का सम्मान करना चाहिए और किसी के धर्म के बारे में किसी को टिप्पणी करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं करना चाहिए, इस बात से बचना चाहिए.
Well, joining us on the broadcast, our guest, Mr. Rangarajan Chilikur, who is the head priest of the Chilikur Balaji Devasthanam, is joining us on the broadcast. Neeti Jain, who is the spokesperson of the BJP, is with us on the broadcast. Mr. Pulla Rao, who is a political analyst and a DMK supporter. We also have Syed Asad Abbas, who is a political analyst, joining us on the broadcast. I want to cut to Mr. Rangarajan first. Rangarajan ji, when it comes to the statement of Udhayanidhi Stalin, he has said a lot of things about the Sanatan Dharma. And it's interesting that he hasn't qualified his statement. He hasn't said that there are certain aspects of Hindu religion or Sanatan which are problematic. He makes a sweeping statement on the religion per se. It is not unknown to the politics of the state of Tamil Nadu, and more importantly, even in the past, there are various leaders from the DMK who have made these statements. Your thoughts on what he has said?
Hello?
All right.
Am I supposed to speak? I didn't hear you say that.
Rangarajan ji, can you hear me? Am I audible? All right.
Yes, I am able to hear you.
You are able to hear me. We'll just try and connect to Mr. Rangarajan. Can hear me. I believe my team is telling me. Mr. Rangarajan, please go ahead. I want your comments on what Udhayanidhi Stalin has said. And is it just for political gains that the statement has been made?
See, we are not into this political slugfest. It is between the political parties to have their own abuses and counter abuses. But what has happened is, in this crossfire, somebody has commented about Sanatana Dharma. And this Sanatana Dharma is not a issue which can be commented by political elements. Sanatana Dharma is an ancient one. It is Sri Rama is the embodiment of Dharma. That is what we all believe. Ramaha Vigrahavan Dharma. And this country, which is not born on 1947, this is an ancient land. This ancient land has got a characteristic. The deity is supreme in this country. When 543 kingdoms merged to become the Union of India upon the request of Sardar Patel, Out of them, the main kingdom which was merged into India was Padmanabha Swami's kingdom, is Trivandrum. And Kanyakumari, both of them are part of this Padmanabha Swami kingdom.
Yes.
The deity there is a ruler. Okay, you all know about it. And the deity there, in 1936, he opened the door of all the temples to the scheduled caste, all the different vargas of the society, downtrodden to the topmost people. So that is a type of social reform that deity has brought in. And in this country, the ancient land, when the constitution was enacted, when we said 1950 we will have a constitution, the framers of our constitution decided that this is an ancient land. The Rama Rajya will be the
welfare state.
Rama Rajya will
in
be
this country.
Implemented in this country.
Yes.
Yes. So when that kind of agreement was there between all the constituent assembly members, the objective resolution was there. See, the difference between Pakistan and India, the Bharat, is Pakistan has got Islam as a state religion. In anybody who wants to occupy a constitutional post in Pakistan has to follow Islam.
Yes.
Whereas in India, there is not anything like that. See, there is two parts of India. One is India 1.0 and India 2.0 now.
Right.
Now this Bharat 2.0, we have tolerated enough nonsense by these people. In this, we have almost from Chilkur Balaji, we are worshipping the deity in whom the ancient land mother
Well, sir,
is one of the
many people argue the fact that supporters of Sanatan, because they have tolerated this for far too long, and that is why these statements keep coming in. 30 more seconds to you, sir. 30 more seconds to you. Yes, finish your argument. Yes.
Let me complete. Sanatana Dharma is not by definition of these political elements. They are no business to comment on Sanatana Dharma. It's an ancient one. It's been followed. It has been worshipped. And nobody can destroy it or demolish it. I just told in my video day before yesterday and yesterday is Sri Udhayanidhi Stalin has exceeded his brief by telling that Sanatana Dharma can be destroyed.
And sir, he is not backtracking. Sir, he is not backtracking despite the fierce criticism that has come in. Mr. Pullarao, I want you to come into the discussion. It would qualify as hate speech or hurting the religious sentiments of any particular community if the same comments were made in respect to various other religions which are prevalent in this country. I don't want to list any of them because all of them are respectable religions in this country, in my understanding. But when a leader goes forward, who is a sitting minister in the government, and compares the religion of the majority to a disease like malaria and dengue, what do we understand?
See, I have heard what Chirikurji has spoken. I have great respect for him. Here, let us see what Udhayanidhi Stalin did. He has got many defenders. He doesn't need me, a political analyst. But yet, he has said something about Sanatan Dharma. Immediately, he clarified it. He said, I am against the philosophy. It is related to casteism. All of that. And there's nothing new in Tamil Nadu. What he has said, the Justice Party, which won the election in 1935 and formed the government of Madras Presidency, they said the same thing. The Justice Party. Then the Justice Party... in
1935.
They came what he
in 1935.
Yes, the same philosophy he is talking about casteism, upper casteism. You know, I may subscribe, I may not subscribe to it. But the fact is, he has said nothing new. And yes, it has caused a lot of waves in the rest of India.
Nitiji, I'll come to you. Nitiji, I'll come to you. But no, Mr. Pullarao, please allow me an interjection. Sir, one second. Listen to my question, sir. Listen to my question. My question is that I don't think any right-thinking individual in this country, forget whether a person is a Hindu or a Muslim or any other religion, because unfortunately caste system is prevalent despite various religions existing in this country, is going to support the discrimination based on caste. I argue it's against the constitution. It is something which is forbidden in law. You cannot practice it in this country anymore. While many people, including Dr. Ambedkar, have criticized the facet of Sanatan or the facet of Hinduism, which has been through casteism, which has been practiced in this country, to call Sanatan wholly evil and to look for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma is taking the argument to a whole new different level. It's no more limited to certain facets of the religion, but takes objection on the existence of religion per se. Mr. Rao.
May I tell you, just a month ago, another very distinguished personality in this country said it and nobody said anything. Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge said it.
What?
Nobody said anything.
No, what did he
Nobody said
say?
anything.
What did he say?
You see, I think Udhayanidhi Stalin is a soft target. He can defend himself. He's got a whole army to defend himself. I'm saying he's got some freedom of speech. Yes, he might have exceeded a little bit. He explained himself and he said that this is my clarity. And that's it. When other very big heavyweights talk about the same thing, nobody has done anything. Why didn't they take the ball?
In politics and law, you have to be very careful with the words that you're using. And I believe the kind of words that have been used are very objectionable. Niti Jain, please come into the discussion. A lot of things have been said in this manner and form about other religions in this country as well. So why is the BJP so offended if Udhayanidhi has made a statement like that? I don't agree with that argument, but that argument has been made in the public domain by various leaders from the opposition camp. So I want you to respond to that.
Anusha, let me first begin by saying what the fellow panelist just said. There are other people who have been saying that, and that is exactly what the BJP has been saying. So you don't have a leader, you don't have any agenda, but finally your ideology of your alliance has come together. So his defense is that he has said it, but other people, other high-profiled people from this alliance have also said it, which I think just puts the stamp on the entire thing that this alliance is an anti-Hindu agenda that they are carrying. And this is not the first statement. So there was a leader from Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat. There was a leader from SP. There was a leader in Bihar, Nitish Kumar's government. All of these people have systematically been making statements against a particular ideology, a particular religion, and they are doing it in the name of freedom of speech. So your freedom of speech does not give you a right to insult me or my religion or my thoughts. You may or may not agree with it. You may or may not follow it, but you do not have the right to stand on a public platform and tell me that my religion or my ideology is a malaria or a dengue and you are going to eradicate it.
Yes.
You are going to eradicate it. Sir, bahut bade log, there have been very high profiled Mughals and the Englishmen who could not eradicate Hinduism, and you people, the Rajkumars of the new age, have no capacity to even talk about it. What are you talking? And these entire alliances standing for them, or they are deflecting the issue. Let Rahul Gandhi come out and say what his opinion is on this. Jab election aata hai, tab they become a Janeudhari Hindu. When there is an election, Kamal Nath will bring Hindu godmen and they will talk about Hindu Rajya and they will support that. In Karnataka, when the elections were happening, they were all about Hanumanji, and today they're supporting this statement. So let the Congress also come out and talk about whatever Udhayanidhi had said.
All right.
This is
Mr. Syed Asad Abbas, you're a political observer, and on many occasions the Congress party has argued that, look, we shouldn't bring religion into politics. Religion is something that has its own role to play in today's life and society. Politics should be about development issues. When the alliance partner of the Congress party, and the both parties are in alliance at the state level, also on the bloc together in NDA, makes such a damaging statement, aren't you giving it on a platter to the BJP to take you to cleaners? And aren't the parties like the DMK bringing the politics of religion into mainstream?
Anusha ji, I've always believed with great power comes great responsibility and equal accountability. I truly believe that me as an Indian and knowing the Sanatan Dharma, I have great respect for this beautiful religion, which speaks of peace, which speaks of non-violence, which speaks of karuna and daya. I think the same thing needs to be read, interpreted rightly by Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin. Now, the second point I make here, the fact of the matter that many of the BJP spokespersons who are debating with me today agreed to one point which I just made now, but do not agree to my second point, which is in no speech whatsoever, in no statement to the media has Udhayanidhi Stalin spoken of a genocide.
This
is the fake news factory. No, allow me to
what
finish.
What is eradication?
I did not speak, ma'am. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the previous BJP spokesperson who was with me. So hear me out.
All I'm asking is, what is eradication according to you?
I'm not being allowed to speak. This is not fair. I did not speak when you spoke,
I'm just asking a question on what you said.
All right, one at a time. All right, one at a time. Can we have Mr. Abbas first? Neeti, I'll come to you later. Mr. Abbas, please go ahead. Finish your argument.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Anushaji. The fact of the matter, we need to understand here that Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin speaks of his view of Sanatan, which I believe is wrong. That is not Sanatan what represents. I believe Sanatan represents equality and social justice. Therefore, if he thinks wrong, that is his view. But he did not call for any sort of a Hindu genocide which is being spread by the BJP fake news factory. He never mentioned any word. Eradication of the thought, eradication of the philosophy, not the people, not mass killing, massacre.
Mr. Abbas. No. I am with you. I am not going to any other speaker. Listen to my argument. No. You are taking it to a different level altogether. I am arguing somebody is spreading hate. You are arguing that they are not inciting anyone to kill or murder. That's not the argument here. The argument here is, one second, listen to my argument. Sir, listen to my argument and then respond to it. Listen to my argument first and then respond to it, right? So, a sitting minister is not supposed to make sweeping statements. We need to eradicate Sanatan. Had he said that we need to eradicate casteism in this country, we need to eradicate discrimination based on communal lines in this country, I think everyone on this panel, including me, would have supported what he had said. Because there are various facets of Hinduism which have been subject of changes, not just social changes, but constitutional changes as well. His statement is not categoric. It's a sweeping statement. He has said Sanatan needs to be eradicated. So don't qualify it and don't overplay to say he did not ask anybody to be murdered. Well, he said other things which are equally objectionable. Make your point.
Anushaji, I so wish, Anushaji, things would have been so much more peaceful if Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin had as good articulation as yours. I completely agree with you, ma'am. There was much better way of putting this forward, be it talking about the caste system or ending the hegemony or so on and so forth. But what did he do? He spoke of eradication of malaria and so on and so forth. My point is, he's absolutely wrong. Let me make it categoric. Sanatan Dharma is a beautiful Dharma, respectable. मैं उसका आदर सम्मान करता हूँ. But categorically, let me also state the way the BJP news factory on the Twitter, on X, on the news channels are going about, oh, Udhayanidhi called for a genocide. That is wrong. Even in a sweeping statement, he never said about genocide, massacre, mass murders or killings. He spoke about ending that philosophy, ending the Sanatan thinking, which he is wrong, obviously. But what I'm saying is, he never called for a genocide.
I don't think that is an argument. I don't think Neeti has said
you
that
don't
so
think,
far. I don't think Neeti has said that so far. Neeti, go ahead. Neeti, go ahead and make an argument.
I think Mr. Abbas is just going round and round on his own argument. I don't agree, but this is not what is happening. So that is not right. The conference that he was speaking was eradication of Sanatan Dharma. And he said eradication of Sanatan Dharma. And I don't know, no matter how you try to, justify the entire point, the damage has been done. And the further damage is being done by none of the parties coming and, negating that entire concept. They're either supporting or they are deflecting the matter. Nobody has come out and said that whatever has been done is wrong and any action taken about the alliance, the so-called alliance that you are talking about. And I think that remains the bottom point. You can go around in circles. I want
to go back to Mr. Pulla Rao as well. I want to bring in Rangarajan ji also into the discussion. But before that, Mr. Abbas, 30 seconds to you. And answer me directly if you can. Usually, whataboutery is not my style of argumentation. But had these comments been made about any other minority religions in this country, would you have cut the person who made such comments any kind of slack? The same slack that you're cutting Mr. Stalin today?
Ma'am, I think you did not hear me. I categorically stated that he is absolutely wrong in going about this.
But then there is a caveat, right?
Now you said I will not mention any religion, but you directly come at a minority religion.
Yes.
Be it minority religion or a majority religion or any religion of this country. We need to equally respect. We cannot make statements like that.
Then
also, in my opening statement,
somebody
I said
asking for an eradication, Abbas ji.
Ma'am, are you scared of
how can you? No, you please answer this. How do you defend a person who is asking for a complete eradication of an entire ideology?
This is not fair. This is not fair. Allow me to complete.
30 seconds, Mr. Abbas, 30 seconds to you,
to
finish your argument, then I go back to Niti and then I have to bring in other guest as well. Mr. Abbas, 30 seconds, yes.
Ma'am, yes, thank you. I did not speak when you spoke. Kindly allow me my time. Thank you, Niti ji. So the point I'm making, Anusha ji, categorically stating that Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin has not even understood the term Sanatan. His interpretation is wrong. He could have articulated his thoughts the way you did, talking about caste system or hegemony and so on and so forth. But Sanatan Dharma, which I state, is a beautiful dharma.
Okay,
of
Mr.
Karuna,
Abbas,
Daya,
I have to move to other
and
guests as
religion.
well.
Nobody
Niti ji, a
caste
quick
it.
point from you, then I have to bring in other guests also.
Nobody.
I'm just sitting here.
All right, one at a time. One at a time. Mr. Rangarajan wants to make a point. Rangarajan ji, please come in, make your point. You have a point to make, please go ahead. Mr. Rangarajan.
See, I have been waiting here. I would like to speak for at least 1 minute,
Please, sir, please go ahead.
See, if you go to we had a partition which is a painful partition in 1947. When the country was divided in two, the Pakistani side has a constitution where the practicing religion is Islam. And there is an article 2A in that country where anybody who wants to hold a constitutional position, whether he is a member of parliament or assembly, he has to be following Islam. In India, in Bharat, we do not have any such provision. We are almost in the final stages in the Supreme Court. Lot of work has been done because of the community called downtrodden community, Tirupanalvar community, who has worked with us. They have been happy to participate in this kind of a movement in restoring the original constitution values of Ramarajya. What we are going to ask the Supreme Court and all the rulers now, because whether it is BJP or Congress or whatever party they come into power, if anybody insults or denigrates Sanatana Dharma, there constitutionally they will not be having any participation in electoral process. That is what we are going to get an amendment. That is the final stage we are going to go. Because now see, Abbas ji is telling what he said is wrong, but see, this but you don't want. What is this but? You just say point blank. Whatever he said is wrong.
Mr. Abbas, let him
it is no but, my friend. It is no but. There is no but to that. If he has said something wrong, he has said something wrong. That's all.
Okay.
My humble submission to you, Mr. Abbas. There is also one. See,
one at a time. Let him make his point. Mr. Abbas, I'll come back to you. Yes.
1 minute. Let me complete. See, I've been sitting here for last 15 minutes without speaking. When Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin said, there are so many people, just Pularao Garu has told me that he has got so many people defend. See, Justice Party was born but did not get elected as a government till 1960.
Rangarajan ji, can I make a request to you?
After that, they have not been able to see the
Rangarajan ji, let me just make a small request to you. Please pause your thoughts there. There's an important development coming in. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has reacted to this entire controversy. I want to play out that reaction and then get back to my guests. Well, that's the word really coming in from Mamata Banerjee. We'll just try and play out that sound bite for you. She has reacted to this controversy. Let's listen in.
I have a great regards for Tamil Nadu people, full of South India, and also Stalin ji also I respect him. But my humble request would be to them, every religions, they have their separate sentiment. What we say always that, if you divide my full body, it is different castes, different religions, and India is for that. India is a secular country, India is a democratic country. And at the same time, unity in diversity is our origin. So, I respect Sanatan Dharma because we know the Rig Ved, Atharva, so many Veds, and it came from our Upasana, Aradhana, Bandhana from then. And also Sanatan Dharma, I give them pension also because there are so many Purohit. They puja path jo karte hai, they do the pujas. So how it is popular, the Balapati is very popular in South India and all over the country. Now Siddhi Data Binayak is popular in Maharashtra and all the country. Durga Puja is popular but belongs to every country. Now we go to mandir, masjid, temple, church, everywhere. We should not involve in any matter which may hurt any section of people. It may be he's a junior, so he may not be knowing that. But from my side, I can give my views that I also came to know this, but I do not know from which vision they have said so. I feel that they have to respect every religion.
Well, that was Mamata Banerjee clearly distancing herself from the statement that was made by Udhayanidhi Stalin and saying all religions need to be accepted and respected. We are a country of unity in diversity, and she and her government have always respected the sentiments of Sanatan Dharma. That's the voice coming in. I want to give last few minutes to Rangarajan ji and Mr. Pullarao, who have been with us on the broadcast. Mr. Rangarajan, 1 minute to you, last 30 seconds to you. Why this statement should not be qualified? And many argue that it might help the DMK in the upcoming state elections or to consolidate their vote bank. It might have, nationally a not great effect on the alliance per se. But for the politics of DMK, it's a statement which they're not really worried about.
See, Anusha, this is what Mamata Banerjee ji, the Chief Minister of Bengal, has said. We are thankful to her for clarifying and then helping us understand. But I would like to come back to our main focus. See, we have been talking about the Article 363 dispute. That is when all the deities, they merge their kingdoms. Out of 543 kingdoms, 8 states had the deity as a ruler. If you take Madhya Pradesh, Orcha, Raja Ramchandra ji was a king. If you take Rajasthan, Ekling ji, he was a king. They all gave their kingdom. If you have taken the kingdom and formed into Bharat and say, I don't want Sanatan Dharma, I will demolish. That is a time when we feel bad.
Mr. Pullarao, do you think
they their kingdom?
Yes.
That is what it is.
Absolutely.
Now we don't want this kind of a loose talk by the political elements.
I think,
they let them fight their political battle.
I think, sir, this is more than a loose talk.
But
and I believe that these kind of statements should be taken far more seriously. So I asked the last question to Mr. Pullarao. Mr. Rao, do you think there should be an apology that should come from Udhayanidhi Stalin? I'm sure that politically it's impossible, but I ask on a notional level because most of the people on the broadcast today who have given us an explanation, if not defended him, like Mr. Abbas have said, that the choice of word was not really nice. I would argue that it can qualify for a complaint as hate speech, and I believe a complaint has also been lodged in this entire matter. Going forward, do you think there should be an apology that should be demanded from him? Mr. Rao, closing comments.
I think it's very difficult for him to give an apology. He has already clarified. He has said, I didn't say that. And what Mr. Syed Abbas says probably is quite correct. He couldn't articulate it properly. There's a matter of articulation also. And we have to, as I said, without any disrespect to Chirikurji, who was a very respected personality of Telugu people. Perhaps it's not such a big thunderstorm as is being made out. It will pass. I have also mentioned earlier that just 40 years ago, there was another minister in Karnataka, Vasudhaiva, who used to abuse everyone every day. Where is he now? I think we shouldn't give too much importance. He's a young man. I'm sure he will.
No, sir, we will give it importance, and so should you. You should issue an apology, and this is an entire country that is going to take it seriously, and so should you if you are going to stay in a public life.
And just because it was not taken seriously,
and you cannot blame it on articulation.
And just because it was not taken seriously in the past doesn't mean it shouldn't be taken seriously right now. And it's not an underage child we are talking about, or somebody who has not had access to education or some kind of exposure in life, that they were incapable of articulation. This is a learned man who was talking about Sanatan Dharma and very well aware of what he was really talking about.
Anusha, one minute, Anusha.
I'm very sorry, gentlemen. That's all the time I have. I apologize. I apologize. That's all the time that I have. As said by the experts on the broadcast, an apology is unlikely to come. But shouldn't statements like these qualify as hate speech? Shouldn't they invite the same kind of condemnation that is invited each time any other religion in this country faces hate or abuse.